Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 4 of Ironman training. So, in this video, I'm happy to say that I just finished my 4th full week of Ironman training, and that's a big milestone. And honestly, it's surprising, not surprising. But I haven't missed a single training session. So that's 8 sessions per week. So 32 training sessions complete as of now. Sorry while I give myself a little bit of a pat on the back, but as usual in our weekly training videos, I will go through this past week of training and share a little training insight, training tip of the week, as usual. So let's dive right into it. The training week starting with Monday was a 50-minute maintenance run in zone 1 and 2 and a 30-minute strength routine. These maintenance runs are becoming pretty standard, and the way the weeks are lining up, they're falling right after the long run day, which so far they're not actually long runs. I mean, they're the longest run of the week right now, but still, as you'll see towards the end of this video, these long runs are technically, pretty short. Like, this past week was a 6-mile maintenance run as my long run. We'll get there, but the important part to note is that this Monday 50-minute maintenance run once again was followed by a Sunday long run, which I've never done in any of my training before. The two semi longer runs back to back, and I was honestly pretty nervous about that, just with accruing strain on back-to-back days, especially in the calves. But so far, knock on wood, no serious issues from backing up these two runs together. So just for some perspective, this Monday 50-minute maintenance run is the day after a long run. So moving on to Tuesday, some of you might remember that last week I performed 2 ramp tests. One of them was the actual ramp test. The other one was my failed attempt at a ramp test. So redoing that on Saturday, I gave my results to my coaches, and this Tuesday ride specifically is based on that ramp test. So this ride was a 1 hour and 15-minute 6 interval zone 4 bike ride. So in the core of the workout was 6 2-minute zone 4, I don't want to call them sprints, but sprints. This workout was extremely difficult, being my first legitimate bike workout with these coaches, but just in general, I've never done I'll say a bike athlete's workout like this before, and it was great, but it was really tough. When I say I felt the burn, my legs were on fire, and I had to use some serious self-mental talk to get me through that one. So there's that. The next day, Wednesday, was a 3x3 minute threshold interval run for a total time of 50 minutes. So that's a 50-minute run with 3 3-minute repeats at 95% to 99% speed. So zone interval work. This was also pretty tough, but I think my body is adjusting much better to running intervals so far than biking intervals. We're in the very beginning, so take that with a grain of salt. We'll see how the following weeks go, but this Wednesday workout went pretty well. My calves were pretty toasted from the Sunday, Monday runs, so I was nervous that, and hopefully this doesn't become a recurring theme on this channel, that I'm nervous about my calves, but I was nervous about my calves on this one. They held out. I did feel some tightness during that workout, which didn't have any immediate problems associated with it, so all good to go there. Thursday was a 1 hour easy ride, followed by the same 30-minute strength routine. This was a much needed easy ride, I'll say, because my energy levels were through the floor following the Wednesday workout. Friday was a rest day. Very nice. Saturday, an hour and 45-minute bike ride, again at an easy pace. So my coaches made a important clarification on this ride specifically, that the goal is to keep it easy. I can have a few hard efforts in there, but they'd much rather me put more effort into the interval work than these long rides. So these long rides and long runs aren't where I should be getting taxed, was my takeaway from that note. So keep that in mind for your training, that the speed work is where you're going to get faster. The other work is where you're just going to be building that aerobic base and getting more fit. And then Sunday, as I hinted to just before, was a 6-mile maintenance run. The way they structure that is a mile warm-up, 4 miles at my zone 2 pace, which is a 10-minute mile, and then a 1 mile cool down. So all in all, 6 miles, about an hour, the way I've been running lately. Because my warm-up and cool down zone 1 paces, they fall around 11 minutes to 10 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's the training week. And so the tip of this week was, do not neglect recovery. And I'll say that because my energy levels this past week, and it could just be the addition of this interval work, or it could be the addition of the bike interval work specifically, and the compounding strain over the past 3 weeks, but my energy levels were through the floor, and it was a stressful week at work. I put out good effort and hit all my times on my training, but I'd find at the end of each day, I could not have any spare mental capacity to focus on my business at all. So keep that in mind if you're trying to accomplish other goals or push in other efforts while you're doing some serious training. Some weeks there's just something's got to give, and you have to be very understanding of the amount of energy that you can put into a single week, and into your efforts. You can't give 100% to everything. That's one reason why life is so fulfilling, because if you spend your time right, you can really master a few things, but you can't master everything, so you need focus. That being said, I think my energy levels would have been much better managed had I had a refined recovery routine. So I haven't been foam rolling as much as I should. I could stretch more. It's been hard to stretch because, if you've been watching my videos, I'm still suffering from this sciatic nerve pain, which is very painful. It's not stopping me from training, but it's like a pretty constant pain, especially in stretching positions. So depending on the time of the day and depending on how loose I am, stretching is a nightmare. But the foam rolling I found this past weekend to be pretty relieving. So I'm noticing that it is loosening me up. It's despite the sciatica, I think it's helping that. So there are things like that, and just making sure that you have adequate rest and sleep and building rest into your day that I will start to prioritize more now that I'm noticing how important it is. But it's just something to keep in mind. Like, if you're only training like 4 to 5 days a week, then honestly, like, you'll probably be getting enough rest, and if you're stretching at all, then you'll probably be fine. But I'm finding that this 6 day a week schedule, with 2 of the days having double workouts, and moving forward, like, I did a sneak peek at this next week of training because my coaches put it in a little bit early. My Saturdays we're gonna start adding bricks into the workouts. So if you know what a brick is, then just, if you don't know what a brick is, just think of it as a really long day of training. So that's when I'll be doing multi-sport. So I might start with a run and end with a bike, which is a reverse brick, or do a long bike followed by a pretty short run to start out, and that's a brick. So it's since it's a triathlon, swim, bike, run. Swim, bike might be a brick. Swim, bike, run might be a brick. Bike, run might be a brick. Swim, run might be a brick. Everything else in the opposite direction would be a reverse brick. Just for a little knowledge for you. So that is it. And, I said it in the beginning, but I am pretty proud of myself for finishing up this 4th week of training, and again, without missing any workouts at all. The name of the game here is consistency. And at the end of the day, if you look out for your body and you look out for your recovery, then you're allowing yourself to be consistent. So the way I'm going to add that into my practices, either at the end or the start of each day, I'll do a bit of foam rolling on any known tight spots, and then I'll definitely foam roll before any serious workout, so before an actual bike or run workout. And that's going to be very important moving forward, because the body it adds up. So thank you for joining me in celebrating my 4th complete week of Ironman training. I hope you're liking the video so far, those of you who watch. If you're not watching, then you're not going to get this note. But stay tuned for more. Thanks.